A waitress decided to serve food to a homeless man in desperate need, but she faced shocking consequences when her manager fired her from her job. But just when it seemed that all hope was lost, something unexpected happened. The mayor himself arrived, and what followed was a surprise to everyone. Before we dive into this touching story of courage and compassion, make sure to subscribe to our channel and join our growing community of story lovers. By subscribing, you'll receive inspiring stories that lift your spirits and remind us of the power of kindness. Don't miss the weekly videos that restore our faith in humanity. Subscribe now and let's spread positivity together. That morning, the restaurant was bustling with its usual activity. The clatter of dishes, the whispers of conversations, and the shouts of orders. From the kitchen, the smell of fried bacon and fresh coffee spread, adding a comforting warmth to the place. Emily moved skillfully between the tables, carrying trays and taking orders, while her smile never left her face, making the customers feel at ease. But this morning felt different. As she was serving a plate of pancakes to one of the tables, her eyes fell on a man sitting on the sidewalk outside. His clothes were tattered, his face was pale and unshaven, and he looked at the dishes passing in front of him with longing in his eyes. Emily felt a pang in her heart. Homelessness was not uncommon in the city, but there was something in this man's gaze that she couldn't ignore. She quickly looked around to make sure all the tables were under control, then headed to the counter. She started preparing a plate, filling it with scrambled eggs, bacon, and fried potatoes. Then she added a slice of toasted bread and poured a cup of hot coffee. She put everything on a tray and headed toward the man. "Excuse me, sir," Emily said softly. The man trembled, startled by her presence, and slowly looked up at her. "Can I help you?" he asked in a hoarse voice. "I thought you might be hungry." She handed him the plate and cup, saying, "Take this." The man's hand trembled as he reached for the food. "I don't have any money," he muttered in a choked voice. "You don't need money," Emily replied with a warm smile. "It's on me." The man looked at her in obvious surprise. "Why are you doing this?" "Because you deserve kindness," she said simply. "Everyone does." The man looked at the food in his hands, nearly overwhelmed by emotion. "Thank you," he whispered. "I don't even know how to thank you. What's your name?" Emily asked, sitting beside him on the sidewalk. Sam said after a pause, "I used to be someone important. I served in the army." But he stopped talking, and Emily remained silent, for she had learned that sometimes silence is more comforting than words. "I lost everything when I came back," Sam continued in a trembling voice. "I couldn't find a job. I couldn't sleep because of the nightmares. My family tried to help me, but I pushed them away. And now I'm here." Emily nodded, moved. "I'm so sorry for what you've been through, Sam, but you're still someone important, and you're not alone." Emily didn't know that her gesture hadn't gone unnoticed. Mr. Grayson, the restaurant's owner, watched from his office. He saw not kindness in her actions, but a rule violation. And when she came back inside, he stormed out of his office, his face red and his voice angry. "Emily!" he shouted. "What do you think you're doing?" She turned to him in surprise. "I was helping someone in need," she said. Mr. Grayson scoffed. "You gave away food for free. Do you know how expensive that plate is? This is a workplace, not a charity." Emily lifted her head confidently. "It was just one plate, and he was hungry. I couldn't ignore him." "Well, you should have," Grayson shouted. "You embarrassed the restaurant in front of the customers. You're fired." Silence filled the place, and all eyes turned to Emily. But despite the pain she felt, she refused to back down. "If being kind is shameful, maybe I shouldn't work here," she said firmly. She removed her apron, set it on the counter, and left the restaurant with her head held high. Outside, she sat on a bench, processing what had happened. Conflicting emotions overwhelmed her. Anger at Mr. Grayson's cruelty, sadness over losing her job, and doubt about whether she had done the right thing. She didn't notice the sleek black car that stopped in front of her until its door opened and a man in a formal suit stepped out. "Excuse me," he said in a warm, polite voice. "Are you Emily?" She looked up, surprised. "Yes, I am." The mayor sat next to her. "I heard what happened and want you to know it was heroic." Her eyes widened. "Heroic? But I lost my job." "Sometimes doing the right thing costs us, but people who lead with their hearts are what this city needs." He handed her a card. There's a non-profit organization that works with veterans and the homeless, and they're looking for someone compassionate and dedicated. If you're interested, I'd be happy to introduce you to them. Emily's eyes filled with tears as she took the card. Thank you. This means a lot to me. It didn't stop there. The mayor shared Emily's story on social media, and it went viral, inspiring thousands of people. People donated to shelters, volunteers joined to help the homeless, and companies started offering job opportunities to people like Sam. As for Sam, his life changed for the better. He received medical care, treatment, and shelter, and started working part-time at a community center that helps veterans. Years later, Emily looked back on that day with a smile. It started with a simple act of kindness, but it turned into a movement that changed many lives and reminded everyone of the power of compassion. If this story touched your heart, don't forget to like and share it, and subscribe to our channel so we can spread goodness together. One action can change the world.